top 5 reasons that cloud POS is far superior to Windows. Not just superior, far superior. So the number 5 reason is operating system is included with the tablet hardware at no charge. Upgrades are at no charge. They're automatic and they don't crash. Tablets have a predictable life cycle. You may even know the life cycle when you buy it, but you know at some point that that device is going to be replaced, but the hardware is not expensive to replace. iOS and Android are far more stable. They don't have the additional drivers that you have to load, the DLLs, which have been a problem in the past. We have Windows customers who are actually afraid to upgrade because they know Windows upgrades are going to bring problems. All that is eliminated when you go with a cloud-based system. So everything included, no charge updates, automatic updates with no crash. So the number 5 reason is operating system. Number 4 is system redundancy. Redundancy has always been a big deal in the point of sale industry because databases get corrupt. Windows databases have always had a problem with that, with regard to multiple networks, network problems, lightning, electricity, all those things cause problems with the databases. And so the thing to do was to always have a backup. Well, backing up a Windows system is cumbersome, and it takes special commands and scripts to do it automatically. So it's not a simple thing to do. It also, at some point, required additional hardware, where you had to buy multiple drives to go into that PC so that you had 2 hard drives into one PC. That may have solved the problem of having redundancy, but it did not satisfy the problem of reliability. Cloud systems not only keep the database away from the localized system, localized problems, lightning and human error. We recently had a customer who had an employee that got mad at them and formatted the hard drive. They lost everything on that hard drive due to that format. So human error is eliminated from this. And on the cloud, the actual database is redundant at several levels at one time. It's located in multiple locations. So the cloud system is a lot more reliable there. Windows networks are far more difficult to set up than the Android or Apple systems. They're made for non-network people. Those devices are. In Windows, there's a lot of people making a good living just setting up Windows networks because they are not as easy to do as the Apple and Android systems. A Windows backup is as current as your last backup. And that last backup may be days, weeks, or months old, if ever. There are a lot of people who have never backed up their database in a Windows system, and they're just rolling the dice, hoping that they never have a problem. So Windows backup is only as current as the last one you did. Cloud backups are as current as the last transaction and take no effort to do, take no special commands, take no human intervention whatsoever. Once the transaction is completed, the database is updated in the cloud. Then if you have to restore it from the cloud, it's fast and it is as current as the last transaction. So if you had a hardware failure, somebody dropped the terminal, broke the glass on the screen, and you had to replace it, just put another iPad or Android tablet in its place, download from the App Store, and then the system would download from the cloud. That database then would be as current as the last transaction. Your data is safe. Data packets are encrypted in the system, and those encrypted packets are then transported to the cloud. Windows networks are heavier network traffic for the same amount of data, and the encryption in our system changes automatically. So that encryption is always changing. It's never the same. So it's just impossible to hack. The transactions are tokenized and they all have a limited lifespan. Those tokens do not last forever. And then our Amazon Web Services cloud servers are scattered to protect data. So there are multiple servers at once that have the restaurant database on them. So that database is scattered for redundancy purposes far more times than they could ever have a redundant drive for Windows. So the data is safe. There's no storage concerns, and they won't run out of drive space. And the customer data is far safer on our cloud servers than that data is at the restaurant level. Number two is reliability. The database is on every device. So every device has the same database. It is the same as it is in the cloud. It is as current as the last transaction. Aldelo Express is not dependent upon the cloud to work. There are tablet POS systems that are dependent upon the cloud. We are not. If we do not have cloud connectivity, orders can still be entered, printers print, KDS systems work. There's nothing changing at the local level. And we have a video that we have out that will tell you how to set up a system, backup system that goes through your cell phone. So there is redundancy, there is reliability, even with cloud POS. And then obviously it's easier to support remotely. We have people tell us that our Windows-based system is more difficult to support than our tablet and cloud-based system. Cloud-based system is just getting so simple to do. And of course, the number one reason is cost of ownership. There's no back office server and hardware to buy or fail with a cloud system. All that is taken care of in the cloud. Tablet POS hardware is far less expensive than an all-in-one terminal for Windows. And actually, it's pretty much off-the-shelf replaceable. If you have a terminal that is damaged and you need to replace it, you can run down to the local store and buy another tablet. Bring it in, load the software, download from the cloud, and you're up and running in minutes, not days or weeks. Old Windows hardware cannot run the newest software. We do have quite a few terminals, Windows terminals, that are still out running older operating systems. And those terminals don't have the processing power or the RAM that is required to run the latest and greatest Windows software. So the old Windows hardware cannot run the newest software. And then finally, upgrades are far less expensive with regard to the hardware. When it does come time to upgrade or update the tablet hardware, it's far less expensive than the Windows. So those are the 5 reasons that Aldelo Express Cloud is the best POS system for your customers. All right. I was glancing over and saw a lot of chat going on. Is there something I need to bring up? Now, I didn't even touch on the fact that we have a utility that converts the Aldelo POS database to the cloud. Takes a matter of seconds.
There is one here. Can you have both Android and iPads both at the same time? Example, half Android, half iPad.
Yep. And in some cases, that is preferable. There are a few features that are not in the Android version that are in the iPad version. The iPad version will always be a little ahead of the Android. So if you want to have a certain feature that's not in Android, then you need one iPad. And that one iPad then gives that feature to the restaurant. But yeah, you can mix iPads, any version of iPad, meaning Pro, Air, whichever. You have then your Android tablet in the same network, Android phone in the same network, and Android handheld in the same network. And then you can also throw in Mesa, which is browser based. So if you have the 5 ones I just listed, can all be in the same network, same restaurant.
So Nick, if you're using the PAX A920, there is no such thing as offline mode. You don't need to anymore because you can put in a SIM card and immediately be, you're always connected. It'll fail over to the cellular network. And so you can literally have the Aldelo Express installed on that device and settle those tickets literally in front of your customer, walk that unit back to the restaurant and use it in the restaurant, on your Wi-Fi network. It will transition from one to the other. So there is no such thing as offline mode needed, and you can do that very simply and very cheaply. I know AT&T set up my unlimited cellular. It's $30 a month. It's nothing for unlimited cellular data. So it's out there and it's dirt cheap.
We have sometimes people are worried about poor internet connections in their area. If they have a cell ability, they can have that as their standard backup. We have food trucks that run off of cell devices that don't have internet unless it's through the cell phone. So you can run the system just on cell phone signal alone.
We have somebody that's asking, an A920 can take a SIM card. Yes, an A920 and A60 both will allow you to put in a SIM card, and there's no configuration needed. You pop the SIM card in as long as you put it in correctly. Provider is supported by PAX. It works. I did it with AT&T. I've had a couple of people put in a T-Mobile, and they're unlocked devices. They work. It may be configuration you need to do with your cellular provider, but I know at least with my AT&T one, I popped it in, closed it up, battery back on it, or put the cover back on it, and powered it on. That was my entirety of my configuration.
All right, guys, I have nothing else for you. I just want you to take this information, go to your customer who is a Windows-based customer, and educate them on why they need to move to tablet and cloud. Help them overcome their fear. We think that the majority of the fear is unfounded and can be overcome by you educating your customers. Learn the differences between actually learn the benefits of cloud versus Windows. There are numerous. We covered some today. There are others. Help them switch from Windows to the cloud. That's not just the hottest trend, it's the best solution for them.